Being a Top Gun pilot is a dangerous game. Everyone knows that. High-speed combat training in tricked-up airplanes is the aerial sea in which peril swims. I have a way with words, don't I? What people don't know is that just taking off presents a lot of risks. Fortunately, a new tool is coming to the aid of the top flight flyboys. As Jay Ingram explains, the same development that is extending football players' careers may mean the difference between life and death for military pilots.
We'd like to welcome you to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, home of Comcab West 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing, formerly known as Top Gun. MCS Miramar houses the CH-53 Echo, the CH-46, C-130s, and approaching behind me is the FA-18. I am the Airfield Operations Chief. What it means is I'm responsible for the safety and the upkeeping of the airfield.
And one of the top safety concerns for Gunny Sergeant Hendricks is known in the aviation business as FOD.
FOD is Foreign Object Damage Debris. FOD you can find anywhere on the airfield, anything from a rock to bolts falling off aircraft.
Should this debris ever be blown from the grass infield onto the runway or into the taxi lanes, it could easily be sucked up into engines, risking damage to these multi-million-dollar machines and the crew who fly in them. And FOD includes more than just debris. Birds and other wildlife also pose a threat.
There's times we've had coyotes that just shot straight across the runway in front of the F-18s.
This type of FOD can cause a worst-case scenario, like when a flock of Canada geese took down a military plane leaving Anchorage, Alaska in 1995. But it's not just the military who are concerned about FOD. Alex Oros is a FOD manager for United Airlines in San Francisco. He's here as part of a search for a solution to FOD.
It is a huge problem, specifically in the order of about $20 million a year, just in parts and labor to fix the damage caused by FOD.
And that's just for United. Worldwide, FOD damage exceeds $2 billion US a year, not including delays and cancellations.
We're looking at the order of in excess of 1 to 200 bird strikes a month at various different airports. You extrapolate that to all the airlines out there, and there's quite a few problems with wildlife.
To prevent such problems, airport crews personally inspect all the runways. Sweeper trucks keep dust down, pick up any metal with a magnetic bumper. Many tactics are used to scare away birds and other animals, but it all remains time-consuming. Even this thin asphalt coating is meant to keep rocks and dust down for helicopters.
We call it the poor man's asphalt.
But as you can see, it doesn't work perfectly. Luckily, Gunny has the problem covered.
The latest weapon that we're looking at right now for the FOD program is the thing called FieldTurf.
This is FieldTurf, an artificial surface technology more known to football fields, soccer, commercial residential landscaping, and golf.
FieldTurf consists of plastic fibers woven together into a mat. Once sewn together, the turf is laid over a hard surface, secured in place, filled in with sand. The result is a more realistic and softer field than traditional artificial turf. But because it's artificial, there are no maintenance and upkeep costs associated with real grass. For Joe Dobson, real grass is at the heart of the FOD problem.
The wildlife species as they exist on the airfield environment are pretty much looking for food, water, and shelter. The airfield turf product does not support food, water, or shelter. Therefore, we're mitigating the wildlife non-lethally.
And unlike the dry Southern California soil, airfield turf doesn't break down into potential FOD. The uniform surface also prevents FOD from getting trapped and later becoming a safety hazard. But why synthetic grass and not just more concrete?
Our biggest thing would be to just cement the whole entire airport, but of course airports want to beautify it. In addition to that, however, as you can see that there's a striking contrast between the runway and the surface. And our pilots really like the product, or any type of an artificial surface product, because you can see the runways much more clearly.
That's also a big concern for Marine pilots like Lieutenant Colonel Alfred J. Ward III.
This provided good contrast. I haven't flown at night with goggles on, so I don't know that, but from daytime it's really nice.
And while it may look nice, how does airfield turf hold up under the severe treatment of these extreme machines? The first test will see if 3 emergency vehicles weighing more than 130,000 pounds can drive over a test patch without causing it to rut.
I think it was outstanding. It should help response time by cutting it down by a couple more seconds for the ARF trucks to get out to a certain location on this airfield.
Just how valuable is a couple of seconds?
Very valuable. It can mean a complete loss of an aircraft.
Now Joe wants to throw even more weight at the turf.
What we're about to do is bring out a C-130 transport aircraft. What we're going to do is show you the jet wash capabilities of the artificial surface technology that we put down with our FieldTurf.
The C-130 Hercules is a military workhorse with plenty of power. Each engine delivers some 5,000 horsepower. And at 100 feet from the turf at max power, the wind velocity reached 147 miles an hour. Unlike Joe, the turf held its own.
Did you see that?
Alex Oros has seen better. Their tests with the FAA showed the turf could withstand both the tire tracks and jet wash of both the 777 and the 747. These jets can unleash up to 56,000 pounds of thrust in each engine. But the power of two F-18 fighter jets combined.
We'd park an aircraft next to one of these installs. We'd run up the engines to about 80% power, and to see if there's any lift or peeling that's caused by the jet blast, both on the edges as well as the center, and then to see if there's any effect with the heat from the jet blast. And as of right now, we've found absolutely no problems whatsoever with the artificial surface.
Not until the 747 leaves the test patch and hits regular grass does the force of the jet wash become evident. Ever the showman, Joe wants to go bigger. This is the CH-53, the largest single-rotor helicopter in the world. Instead of horizontal jet wash, the helicopter pushes the wind directly down, causing loose debris to be ingested into its engines. Joe wants to know if the turf can handle the pounding and if the sand infill will stay put.
The CH-53 is probably the worst case scenario the airfield turf surface will come across. And as you'll see, it's performing outstandingly.
But Joe won't know if the sand infill held in place until a close inspection.
And so far it looks like it held up here pretty good.
Well, of course, we got no levitation of the carpet.
Nope.
Some of the FOD that you saw in the opening scene was the surrounding areas. But if you look at that downwash, look, the infill itself, Gunny, is still here.
It's all there.
There was no movement or evacuation of the infill.
Not to say I was skeptic about it moving it, since it being the largest rotary wing aircraft out there. I figured some of the migration of the infill would have been blown away, but looking at the stuff right now, I'm definitely impressed.
Believe it or not, even Joe was shocked by how well the turf held up.
That was huge. Oh, I love you.
I was going to kiss it.
That is huge.
Well, those are all the high-flying stories we have for you this week. I'm Dan Duran. Thanks for watching.